Yeah. Hello and welcome to week number 2 of the second series in Alcazar's youthing program, From Surviving to Thriving. We're going to be starting in about 6 minutes. So hang tight and hang out. We'll see you soon. Hi, we're going to be starting in about 1 minute. Welcome to the webinar. So we have people from all over the world joining us, as we always do, but we're excited about it. We have people from Sweden, Canada, Portugal, Singapore,
France, Germany,
Tokyo. Cool. Hi, Masako.
Italy,
Houston,
Holland, the States, all over the States.
Netherlands.
That's Holland too.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah. We even have people, there's Australia. We have people listening in from Bangladesh and Pakistan and
Someone in the
Ghana,
Middle
South
East.
Africa, Israel, Guatemala there.
So, hey. Oh, what's up?
So, welcome back.
We're coming to you live from our living room in Mount Shasta.
And it's really great to be with you. And there's a lot to share. And again, we're going to try and give you some information, background information, and we're going to try and keep it simple and not too scientific.
Because last week we promised you that we wouldn't give you too much more mind stuff. But then we realized that this week we're actually talking about
the mind.
Oh!
Yeah. So first we want to just say a few words about the experience of last week. Because on the Stargate Academy Facebook page, there's a lot of comments, people saying that they're having difficult times in a number of different ways.
And some people saying that they're having really marvelous, easier flows within their nervous system in their day-to-day life. So we wanted to talk about both aspects and get Alcazar to share his insight about what is happening here.
So let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
And so, beloved ones, we greet thee again. And as always, it is a great honor for us to be with you in this moment of your time. So we invite you simply to relax. And if you wish already, you can close your eyes. For as we have said many times, when we are talking with you, we are also working energetically. So, in the last webinar, we were working with you in a very different way. For those of you who have been used to working with us and our energies creating a strong field around you, last time was a little different. The energies were far more subtle. We were using your hands also, so that you were participating with your own energy, as well as the energy that was brought to you by the guides and the Stargate system. Why? This last experience was to assist you in the whole of the nervous system, so to speak. The brain, both in the head, the heart, the gut, and the interconnectedness of all that you are. As we said, the energies were subtle, but the influence of the energy isn't necessarily subtle, as many of you have discovered. So, first of all, we wish to say to you, it is important to continue that meditation daily for 7 days. We appreciate that those of you who are listening and having a translation that you do not receive the translations for several days. And so continue the first meditation for 7 days. Then the meditation that we will give you later, continue that for 7 days, and so on. It is important to do it for the 7 days so that the process can complete itself. So, beloved ones, why are some of you experiencing intense movement energetically and also in the physical body? First of all, these two things are not separate. You are all one complex unit. For those of you who have been working with the Stargate for a while, you are beginning to access, to release some of the deeper conditioning, some of those things that are buried down deep from your childhood and sometimes even from beyond. And so the unpleasant experiences, relax with them. Understand that they are coming into your awareness, either your bodily awareness or a consciousness, simply to be recognized, simply to know, this has been behind my behavior. It has been unconscious, but it has been influencing my behavior, my understanding of life from the background. Now it is coming into my awareness. So what to do? In a sense, as we always say, nothing to do. Just understand this and you'll find that these patterns gently dissolve with your awareness, with the understanding that you no longer wish to have these influences affecting you in a negative way. So again, we stress the importance of doing this for at least 7 days. Okay? Understand that we are working with you individually. Understand also that because you are all unique, these energies touch you in a very different way. Celebrate the experience. Understand that change is happening. Understand that as change occurs, slowly, slowly, your vibration rises and you become more aware, more conscious. And this is a process which accelerates as you continue to release and choose. Choose the higher experiences. And so we will talk to you again in a few moments and guide you through the first of the meditations of this day. Okay, so one other thing that's important with the last week's meditation is actually you need to stay awake. With the first series, people were using it at night, going to bed, falling asleep, or falling asleep during the meditations, or going into a higher place where the mind is not there and not needed.
Yeah, which is usually totally okay.
But with this one, because there's hand movements, it's important that you're actually consciously doing it. So that's something to remember. Stay awake, do it for 7 days.
Another thing that is a really nice attitude to have toward yourself when stuff does start coming up, especially if it's fairly intense, is something from interpersonal neurobiology, which is to be curious, open, accepting, and loving. So as these processes are happening for you, remember to stay in this state of presence where you're not so much judging what's happening, you're just being with it and recognizing, yes, this is, like Alcazar says, this is beautiful because this is stuff that's coming up into my awareness. And very often, just with that conscious awareness, it can start to dissolve.
And someone's asking, is it okay to do week 2 before listening to week 1? No, do week 1 first, then week 2. You can be
on the live webinar
on the live
with us.
webinar, but in terms of doing for 7 days, start with the first meditation and then move to the second and the third and so on.
Okay.
Okay, so the first point that Julianne just mentioned was be curious. And that's a really important part. It's just like to be really aware of what's happening and asking yourself, well, why is that there? What is it telling me? That kind of curiosity, that introspection is a really important part of just being aware and watchful with what's happening.
It's a beautiful tool because with the curiosity, you open yourself to your insight, your ability to see inside of yourself what's happening.
And what's been limiting you, because all these things are limitations coming up in one way or another. So when there's a physical reaction, as many people are experiencing, just ask, oh, is there anything I need to understand about this?
Mm-hmm.
Or can I simply let it go? But curiosity.
And if it's a feeling, a very useful question is, when did I first feel this way? And another question that you can give yourself is, okay, what do I need to give myself right now so that this feeling can start to dissolve? And very often it will just be like love. But sometimes it will be like, oh, like I need to imagine like my father loving me. So it's like you can actually bring the energy of your parents through the quantum field. Okay, you can also use the energy of the guides to help you feel in that space where you feel loved.
The important thing with all these energies that are brought to the surface, all these limitations, it's always important not to judge yourself for having them, not to judge yourself for being limited in the past. It's more about celebrating the fact that these are coming to the surface to actually go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other aspect that Alcazar always says is ease and grace. Ask to release these things easily, simply, gracefully. And the really important part of that is don't judge them. Love them. Appreciate, love the fact that the body is eliminating in whatever way it's coming to the surface for you. Cool.
Yeah. And we're very blessed because like we talked last week about the importance of environment for the nervous system, because our nervous system is constantly scanning and responding to our environment, both inside our body. When we have like a flu or something, it can actually signal the body to feel danger, but also in the external environment. So what we get to do with the Stargate is create this like high vibrational, super loving, energetic environment for ourselves. And that's why this transformation can happen with
ease and grace.
Yeah. So when you feel like you need a shift, remember to change your environment.
And as you should all know by now, you can always just sit and meditate and invite an etheric stargate. Raise your vibration as you are learning in this series. And that will change your external environment. It will change your internal environment.
Yeah.
So let's do that right now.
Yeah, let's do that right now. That sounds like a good idea, right? So we'll go into the first meditation and invite you to just close your eyes and go inside.
Well, let's do the music first, Jules.
Yes. Okay. So
they can't do that with their eyes closed.
Yeah. So before you get comfortable, we'll have the music link in the chat box, as we always do. You can click the music link, adjust the volume in a new window, and
We should say a special hello to Ashley, who's normally here with us, monitoring just over there. But right now she's in LA. So she's working from LA, joining us on this and giving you the music link and taking care of questions, etc.
okay.
So now we will invite you to close your eyes and relax.
Okay.
And as we always do, we're going to turn our camera off for the meditation to encourage you just to close your eyes and be inside. And as always, Alcazar will come through, guide the meditation through Julianne. Nothing to do. Ease and grace. Beloved ones, we are with you. As always, when we start a meditation, we connect to the energies of the earth, the energies of Gaia, this beautiful planet that you are a part of. And so we ask each one of you just to ask inside for the energies of the earth to come up into your bodies and into your energy field.
And so we call for the energy of the earth and just relax and feel as Gaia starts to respond to you.
Just allowing for the possibility that the earth knows you, that the earth can actually respond to your asking.
And allowing for the possibility that these earth energies can support you, that your Gaia can be a beautiful friend, an ally in your awakening. And so remember, whenever you feel overwhelmed, connect to the earth. If you can, spend some time in your nature. For the energy of nature can assist the body in calming down. For that is your natural environment. It is the environment in which humanity has evolved. So just asking inside for another wave of energy from the earth and feel.
Very good. We wish to say to those people who are living in a city, whose minds say, well, I cannot go out into nature, there is none around me. There may be a small park that works beautifully, but you know, simply by connecting to a tree or even a plant will connect you to the web, to the field of nature, of the earth.
And indeed, through the quantum field, you can invite nature to connect with you. And so we are going to ask you to do something a little strange, perhaps, but just to ask inside for the energy of the trees that surround these two in this Mount Shasta, asking for the forest conscious energy of the trees to come to you right now.
And so we are asking for the power and the presence of this beautiful environment here, the trees and the mountain of Mount Shasta, to bring their energies to you, where you are in this moment, whether you are listening to the recording or listening live, just asking and feeling as the environment here, as the nature of Mount Shasta comes to you. Mm.
Beautiful.
Grounding you.
And if you wish, you can even imagine yourself surrounded by these trees. You can do this with any environment that you wish to connect to. So,
And now we ask each one of you to ask inside for an etheric stargate to come to you. So simply by asking, a stargate, the consciousness of a stargate will actually come to you. If you have your eyes closed, if you are meditating with us, just by asking for a stargate to come to you, it will actually start to form around you.
and so asking with feeling, with intention, we call for the presence of an etheric stargate.
And just allow for the possibility. Just imagine or feel the stargate forming around you. For those of you who are not familiar yet with the form of a stargate, you can just imagine a pyramid forming around you because your guides understand that you are asking for the stargate and it will come to you.
So just visualizing, feeling this etheric stargate structure forming around you. And now asking inside for the activation of your etheric stargate.
We call for the activation of all the etheric stargates around the world and all the physical stargates around the world, energizing the Stargate grid system.
And a gentle buildup of energy starts to occur around you.
Nothing to do, just relaxing into the soft energies that the Stargate starts radiating. And now, as most of you are familiar with this process, we will move quickly through the dimensions. And so we are asking all the etheric stargates to start vibrating very rapidly right now.
And so we are simply raising the frequency in your etheric stargates, and we are moving very rapidly, already moving up through your fifth dimensional frequencies and into the sixth dimension, and the vibration getting faster still. And we reach now into the seventh dimension where, as we usually do, we bring all the stargates to a gentle pause.
And so now your etheric stargate is vibrating at the seventh dimension. And as you simply relax, nothing to do, your own energy will slowly rise until you are vibrating in harmony with the seventh dimension.
And so we ask each one of you now just to ask inside with feeling for a strong seventh dimensional energy field in your etheric stargate.
Nothing to do, just the asking, just the allowing. Very good. The more you do these meditations, the quicker, the simpler, the easier it is to move up through the dimensional ranges. Remember, no effort is needed. The relaxation is the important part. Then your energy moves all by itself, simply by being in this energetic field. Very good. And so now we continue to raise the vibration of your etheric stargate.
And so again, your etheric stargate, the consciousness of this stargate structure vibrating faster and faster, and the frequency all around you gently rising. And we are merging now into the ninth dimensional frequencies, continuing just to raise the vibration effortlessly, nothing to do, just relaxing, moving up through your 10th and into your 11th dimension now. And we reach your 12th dimensional frequencies. And here again, in the 12th dimension, we bring all the etheric stargates to a gentle pause.
And so now your stargate is vibrating at the 12th dimension, and so asking inside for a strong 12th dimensional energy field in your etheric stargate.
And so we call for a strong energy field of the 12th dimension in all the etheric stargates.
And again, just allowing for the possibility that simply as you relax, slowly, slowly, your own vibration, your energy starts to vibrate at the 12th dimension. As it does so, you become more sensitive to the guides, to the multi-dimensional beings that are available to assist us, to assist humanity in raising your vibration, becoming more conscious, more aware. Nothing to do. Very good.
Very good. And so the angels are once again the first group of beings wishing to join you. And so we ask each one of you now just to ask inside, to invite the presence of the angels.
We call for the presence of the angelic realm. And just feel, just notice the energy around you gently changing. Here they come, the angels coming to you. And you can feel the subtle shift in the energy as the angels respond to your asking. Invite them closer. Come closer, asking for a deeper connection with them. They respond to your intention. They respond to your asking.
And there is a group within the angelic realm known as the Elohim Council. They are the overseers of the Stargate work. And so we are going to ask you right now, each and every one of you, to ask inside for the presence of the Elohim Council of Angels.
We call for the presence of the Elohim Council. And again, just feel
A slightly different frequency,
of the angelic realm.
the angels of the Elohim. Feel this.
Very good. And so, as most of you are very aware, in times past we invite many different ascended masters. And as we do in these shortened meditations, we are going to invite just a few, but knowing that all the masters from the past ages bring their energies here to support you. And so let us start with the one whom we call the Blessed Mother, Mary or Maria. So each one of you asking inside for the presence of the Blessed Mother Mary or Maria.
And so we call for the presence of the Blessed Mother Mary.
And feel.
Here she comes.
Just very gently at first, and then her energy gets stronger. Can you feel her presence gently getting stronger? Invite her closer. Mary, Maria, coming to you. And now, as well as this divine feminine energy, we now invite the divine masculine energy, this time in the form of Saint Germain.
And so, again, each one of you asking with feeling, with strong intention, and we call for the presence of the Master Saint Germain.
And feel. Here he comes. Very good.
Divine masculine energy.
And so now we ask each one of you to invite all the ascended masters who wish to support this process, wish to support you, to bring their energy into this space, into your etheric stargate right now.
And so we call for the presence of all the ascended masters, all of the enlightened ones who have walked this earth.
And ask and feel. Can you feel again the energy changing around you as all the masters join us? And again, just invite them closer, asking for a stronger connection.
And if there are any particular masters whom you wish to connect with, we invite you to ask for their presence to come even closer to you right now, just asking inside. Or you can ask for one whom is particularly connected with you. You do not need to know their name, but just feel. The guides respond to you individually. You are loved. You are known by existence.
Beautiful. And now, the star families, those advanced beings from around the universe who have gone through this process themselves eons ago on your timeline.
And so first we invite the ones known as the Pleiadians, for as you know, they are very connected to humanity.
We call for the presence of the Pleiadians.
And feel. Here they come. A very high vibration, for they are in what you call light bodies.
Invite them to come closer. They come respectfully, gently. If you invite, they come closer. Joining the angels and the masters, creating what we often call an ocean of energy surrounding you and flowing through you.
And beloved ones, you have on this beautiful planet the ones known as the whales and the dolphins. And as some of you know, these beautiful beings have also had a shift in their DNA, allowing them to carry the spark of spirit, the spark of consciousness. And so they are actually multidimensional beings. They are representatives from your Sirian star system. And so we are going to invite you first to invite the whales and the dolphins.
We call for the presence, the energetic connection to the whales and the dolphins.
And feel, for here they come.
And you might even imagine or visualize them coming to you.
Swimming around you. These beings are known for their healing abilities. Many humans connecting with them find spontaneous remissions, healings of the physical body, but also the emotional body.
The joy that they bring, that they trigger within you.
The love and the sense of presence that these beautiful ones carry.
And so now we are going to invite another star family, those known as the Hathors, for many of you have a connection with them.
And so asking with great feeling, we call for the presence of the Hathors,
inviting them, feeling as they start to bring their energy here. And again, inviting them closer. Always invite them to come closer. Always invite your guides to have a stronger connection to you. And they will respond to this. Very good. And again, we say there are so many beautiful, benevolent star families. And so we're going to ask each one of you now to ask inside for all the star families who wish to support humanity to bring their energy here right now.
and so we call for the presence of all of the benevolent star families from around this beautiful universe.
And feel as they gently introduce themselves to you.
Many, many different frequencies coming into your etheric stargate.
And
Right.
again, inviting them closer.
Come closer. Bring more of your presence here.
Relaxing into their energy. Beloveds, they are here. The angels, the masters, the star families, they are here simply out of love for humanity. And so, beloveds, as you are surrounded by this gentle energy of love, we invite you to start to commit yourself to loving yourself, to honoring yourself for bringing yourself to this gathering, for bringing yourself to the place where you say, I want to change. I want to be free. I want a healthy, youthful body. Beloved ones, this is loving yourself. But we ask you now, it is time to make your love of self more conscious, deeper. This means dropping the self-judgment. This means accepting yourself moment by moment, just as you are, in the beautiful, loving energy times and the depressing, negative thoughts, negative emotions. Loving yourself in that space also. Why? Why would you love yourself in those deep, dark places? Because, beloved one, the love is the energy of transforming those places. They are created by conditioning from your past. Loving them is saying to them, we don't need this conditioning anymore. We can be free of these depressing emotions, depressing imbalance in the body. You can be free of the physical limitations, the illness, as you call it, the dis-ease. You can move back to peace within your body. The key is loving self. The key is non-judgment, consciously loving yourself. And so we would suggest that every morning when you awaken, give yourself a little hug. Embrace yourself and say, I love you. As you go to bed, embrace yourself and say, I love you. But not just saying the words, expressing the feeling of self-love as you hold yourself. And as many times as you think about it, during the day. When you are feeling good, when you are feeling high, take a moment. Oh, I love you. I love you experiencing like this. And when there is sadness, when there is difficulty, I love you. We are going to move through this. We are going to celebrate this. This is part of being human. This is part of my evolution, moving from the old into the new. Beloved ones, love is the biggest key to transformation. Love yourself as often as you can remember to do so. It will change your world. It will change your experiencing of the beauty of who you truly are. And so just being aware right now of your own energy, and love yourself right now for giving yourself this opportunity. Love yourself for your determination to change, to feel youthful. Celebrate. Very good.
And so, beloved ones, remember this: whatever arises as you move through your awakening process, if you can meet it with love and acceptance, rather than saying to yourself, oh, I should not be feeling this way, if you can instead meet it with the embrace of your consciousness, thank you for revealing yourself to me. What is the message here? What do I need to let go of? How can I love myself even more in this moment? If you can move through accepting whatever arises, with that very acceptance, the love can flow. When the love flows, there is no fear, and that which has been hidden can be brought to the light of your awareness and transformed. And so you can feel much lighter in your day to day. So, beloved ones, we invite you just very gently, very slowly, loving the body, loving the mind, your experiencing of yourself. Gently, gently come back.
Okay.
So just come all the way back. And like we say, when you come all the way back, you allow these energies to integrate into the body. And it's always nice to drink some water.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Me too. As we often say, it's really, really important to drink plenty of water as you go through these week programs. Very often, most of us are actually dehydrated. We don't drink enough. And so that's something really to focus on as you go through this, and actually in your daily life anyway. So this this particular webinar is focusing on the mind. And so we're going to give you some simple explanations as we perceive it.
Okay, so the first thing is, as we've just been immersed in this beautiful energy field, our experience of ourselves expands. So much. And so that is very beautiful space. So just invite these energies to stay with you. And the mind relates to our inner subjective experience. So what that means is that it's non-physical, the mind is invisible, and it is very much a mystery.
Yeah, even the scientists don't know exactly what it is.
So when we talk about the mind, we're talking about our sense of self. We're talking about thinking, feeling, emotion, memory, this whole process of how we experience this reality. So it's very much an individual process. And the way that the closest interdisciplinary scientific definition for the mind is that the mind is an embodied and relational process that regulates, that monitors and changes the flow of energy and information. So
what does that mean?
well, okay, so there's, like we talked about last week, there's energy and information flowing through your nervous system and your brain, which is in the head, the heart, and the belly. So there's the inner energy and information flow. And there's also, as I speak to you, energy and information flow.
From the environment, the outer environment.
Yeah, the air molecules that are actually compressing and releasing that somehow create the sound that we can perceive and the information that that energy carries. So this is a beautiful definition because it's actually very easy to think about energy and information flowing from other dimensional realities also. And so what the Stargate experience does is it helps our human mind become aware again of the larger reality.
The other dimensional experiences, which are also part of who we are.
The energy of the guides, the energy of our own beingness.
The superconsciousness. Yeah. So in this whole area, that's like, what is the brain? What is the mind? What is conscious? What is unconscious? What is intuition? All these different words that we use. And so we're going to try and give a very simple explanation of each one of these. But what's that quote from Carl Jung, Jules?
Well, before we go into that, people really love that meditation.
Oh, great.
That's really great. People saying they feel like crying and cleansing tears, powerful meditations. That's what love does. If you think about it, that's all we're doing in these meditations. We're creating a space where we can relax into being as loved as we truly are by the whole universe. And if the universe loves us, then it can become a little easier to love ourselves.
Absolutely.
And Alcazar says that is the greatest gift that you can give to humanity and raising the consciousness here. Okay, so this quote by Carl Jung kind of sets the foundation for where we want to go in this particular webinar. It's until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate.
So what he's saying there is that we just assume that we're kind of victims to our surroundings. We're victims to what happens to us because we have no control over it. But what Alcazar's been saying over the years is that we create our own reality. And we create our own reality through the functioning of what he calls the brain-mind mechanism, which is conditioned in our childhood with all kinds of programs from our parents, from our schools, society, religions.
So you know that children have the ability to be like sponges. They can learn multiple languages seemingly effortlessly. And that's because until we're about 7 or 8, our brain is in a brainwave state that's very low frequency, and it's actually similar to hypnosis. And so we actually absorb not just the amazing ability to communicate and learn, but we also absorb on a very deep level the programming that our parents carry. So like 70% of it is negative. So if your parents are like, you're the most special, beautiful child in the whole universe, you'll believe them. But the thing is, we should be so lucky, right? My mom used to actually say, like, you're so special to me, which is like, thank you, mom. But we also carry like the limiting programming. So, like, there's not enough money.
You're not clever enough. You're not beautiful enough. You can't have what you want.
Life sucks, right?
Yeah, life is painful.
Yeah, love
Life
is
is hard
pain.
work. So many different programs. You know them. You're aware of the kind of things that your parents told you, and somewhere inside, very likely, you hold that unconscious program yourself. Why? Because it's the way that the brain-mind mechanism works. And we've mentioned it before, but it's worth mentioning again right now. The brain is a supercomputer. It is amazing.
Yeah. So at any given moment, your brain, your unconscious mind can process 2,000 times more information than our conscious aware mind. So this is constantly happening, and there's this beautiful quote um, from a neuroscientist, and it goes, in 30 seconds, the brain produces more information than the Hubble Space Telescope has collected in its lifetime.
And that's been up there in space, taking photos of space
A
since
while.
1990 it went up. So that's a lot of information.
In 30 seconds. So you can imagine how much information is actually being processed below the level of your awareness.
So what is awareness? There's part of the brain-mind mechanism which is monitoring millions of input from within the body, from within each cell, from the whole of the environment, what you're hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, etc., etc. All that information is coming into the brain-mind mechanism. And if you had to think about all those things consciously, well, it's impossible. But that's what your unconscious mind is doing all the time, moment by moment.
And
I have to slow down. I'm sorry.
now you're getting excited.
Yeah, we have to slow down because people are translating. We apologize.
Okay, and the unconscious mind that's processing all that information is the one that decides what is important to you, the conscious awareness part of the mind.
So this part of the mind sends information into what you would call your conscious awareness. So one of the simple examples that Alcazar uses is he said that the body is sending trillions of pieces of information into the brain mind. And the mind is deciding, the unconscious part is deciding, do I need to be aware of this? So the example that Alcazar often says is, there are messages coming from your feet right now into the brain, and you're totally unaware of it, except now you are, because we've mentioned it. And so as soon as the unconscious mind hears us talking about your feet, it says, oh, I need to be aware of my feet right now. And so most of you are now sensing the energy in your feet, because that part of the brain mind says, oh, that's important in this moment. As we carry on talking, that will be unimportant, and you won't be consciously feeling your feet anymore.
So it's a good example because it kind of takes the mystery out of what we're talking about a little. It's like, oh, of course I can become aware of my feet. So it's like, of course we can start to become more aware of these limiting programs. It's just a matter of letting them surface for us, which is why Alcazar says celebrate when this stuff comes up. Because very often, just purely with touching it with our awareness, it can start to dissolve.
Another thing to understand is the way that the brain-mind mechanism takes our daily experience and then puts it into an unconscious program so that we don't have to think about it. Some of the things that we know how to eat, you don't think about picking up the fork and feeding yourself. That's part of the unconscious. So early childhood is about learning how to walk, how to eat, how to talk, all these different things, and then that's put into the unconscious. Alcazar uses very often the example of learning to drive, because that's something that we did as an adult, and so we can understand how we created the unconscious program. When you're learning to drive, you're very aware, tense, watching everything, thinking about changing the gear. If you have a manual shift, you're thinking about the lights, the people, how fast to go, where the brake is, when to slow down, all these things that you're thinking about consciously. You do it again and again. This is called the process of learning. And so you pass your test, you've been driving for a while, and then the unconscious mind says, I've got that. I know how to do that. I don't have to think about it anymore. And so that then becomes a program in your unconscious, which leaves the so-called conscious part to focus on what else is happening. So you can then drive without thinking about it. You can be talking to a friend, you can drive 100 miles, 100 kilometers without even thinking for a moment about how to do it, because now the unconscious has taken over. And remember, the unconscious works so much faster.
Okay, so not only can it process 2,000 times more information per moment than the conscious mind, but 95 to 99% of our mental activity, the energy and information that's flowing through our mind, 95 to 99% is happening below the level of our conscious awareness. So that together makes the unconscious over 1 million times more powerful than our conscious mind. So we want to grow young, right? We want to create consciously what we wish to experience in our lives.
So the first thing that we need to realize is that if 95% of our decision making is happening on an unconscious level, we need to realize that we have these unconscious programs which are limiting, and they're running in the background all the time. And because it's unconscious, we're responding to them without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's really good news here, though. And I'm going to share it with you. So your mind. Ooh. So so one of the keys to reprogramming the unconscious minds. Like, okay, if it's unconscious, how do I reprogram it?
It's simple. Just the way that by repetition you learned how to drive and then it became unconscious, you can start creating conscious programming by repeating the same thing again and again.
So this is what Buddhists do when they're doing mindfulness training. It's not the easiest way, but it's an important element, because every time we become consciously aware, we can start to reprogram more and more. That's why Thank You, Bring Me More is a powerful tool, because you're focusing on the feelings that you would like more of. And the subconscious mind very much is influenced by feelings more than thoughts.
So the more that you consciously repeat what you wish to create in your life, you come to a place where the unconscious mind says, "Ah, got that. Let's put that out as our presence." And that's what you're vibrating out into the universe, and that's what the universe responds to.
Let's make that our mode of operation.
So what Alcazar does is very different. And that's really what the Stargate work is all about. And that's changing things energetically with the vibrations, the presence of the different support systems of the masters, the angels, the star families, and so on. So what we are doing with the Stargate work is Alcazar's bringing these energies to us in the different meditations. Those energies are actually designed to dissolve many of these programs that we have that limit us. The other aspect is that it brings into your awareness some of those programs that need your conscious decision to say, I'm not going to live that anymore. I'm going to change that. And so two things are happening. Some things are simply being dissolved. Other things are being brought to the surface so you can say, okay, I'm not going to live in an unloving, judgmental way. I am going to stop judging people, for example. I'm not going to live in poverty anymore. I'm going to start to create an abundant way of living. The limitations come into your awareness. Then you need to decide, I'm not going to be that anymore. That is not me. I am living a new way right now. So we're going to take a little break right now, 10-minute break. And then we'll come back, say a little bit more, and move into the meditation for this week that we'll be repeating for 7 days.
Okay, so we will come back at 13 minutes past the hour. We'll take a 10-minute break.
Okay,
So
welcome back.
Welcome back. And just take a moment to come back.
And just connect into the energy field that we all created together. Just do that by relaxing and the intention. Feel the energy within you and around you.
And let's all just focus our attention on the area of our heart center. And feel as your attention goes to your heart center, your energy also moves to your heart. And now just think of something, someone that makes you feel appreciation, love, just making a genuine attempt to feel appreciation, love, gratitude. And just feel that feeling. Really allow yourself to go into it. Invite it to spread through your whole body from your heart. And can you start to sense a greater harmony? So, this is a great example of using the mind to influence the whole body system. And you're using your mind to connect to your heart. And then your heart has the ability to become coherent, to be in this really rhythmic flow. And when your heart is flowing rhythmically in coherence, it actually boosts the performance of your mind. It makes things an ease and a grace. So, we wanted to start off this next segment with a quote by Bruce Lipton. And if you know the work of this scientist, he's very much into how our belief systems create our reality. And so the quote is, so we're functioning 95% of the day with a more powerful mind
That's the unconscious.
that was programmed by other people with limitations. That's parents, schools, society, that will prevent us from going someplace.
From our own creativity and our own connectedness to our superconsciousness.
Yet we can't see it unless we purposely become aware of it. So really that's just a recap. And to recap the ways that you can change. Okay, well, first of all, how do we become aware of our unconscious programming? And Bruce Lipton has a really awesome method because it's so simple. He says, look at what is flowing really nicely in your life. And that's probably something that you have a really supportive program about. So if it's really easy for you to make friends, or if it's like really easy for you to
create money,
that's probably something that you have a supportive program. And if you want to find where your limitations are, just look at your life and look at what isn't flowing. So for a lot of us, like for me, one of my big ones is like self-love. It's like sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's really hard for me to love myself. And that's a big one for a lot of people. And I would love to change that.
You
right?
are changing that.
I am. Yeah. So there are 3 ways that Bruce Lipton says you can change your unconscious mind. One is through hypnosis, which is that lower brain state. It's kind of like delta brain wave state, low frequency. That's the state that we're in when we're kids. When we adopt these programs, getting back into that state, our subconscious mind essentially is very receptive there. The second way is through repetition. Like we talked about, mindfulness training is a form of repetition that's very powerful. It's actually proven in peer-reviewed medical journals that simply cultivating mind sight and presence, the ability to know ourselves and to know the inner world of another person, creates youthing in the body. They actually measure it through the telomeres, which, if you remember, protect the DNA from aging. And they measure it in actual changes in the expression of our genes. So awesome. Even our conscious mind is super powerful. And the third way to change the unconscious is what Bruce Lipton calls super learning, where you're using energy modalities to put the unconscious mind in a state where it's like almost like a recorder, like an audio recorder. So it's just going to like absorb the whatever program you want to put into it. And that way you can change your unconscious in about 10 minutes.
So Alcazar has a totally different approach.
Okay.
And so the two aspects, and we keep on coming back to it, but basically this is one of the most simple ways. The first one is dissolving those old programs. The second way is connecting to your superconsciousness. And they're not separate in a sense, because as you dissolve those old programs, your vibration rises. Because those old programs are working against you, they are lowering your vibration. As you dissolve them, your vibration goes up. As your vibration goes up, you can connect more easily to your superconsciousness. We have free meditations on a website which are specifically designed to assist you connecting to your superconsciousness. So, we want to go into this week's meditation right now, and there'll be a little bit more after this.
So the focus of this meditation is, guess what?
What?
Reprogramming the mind.
So let's see what Alcazar has to say about that.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to turn our camera off, and we're going to ask you just to relax, close your eyes.
And there will be another music link for you to click before you close your eyes. And then
So Ashley's putting up the music link.
Great. So it will come up in a moment, and we invite you just to start to make yourself comfortable, and we'll turn our camera off for the meditation.
Invite you to simply relax. We invite you to reconnect to the etheric stargate that is around you, just inviting it to be there again, and asking for a strong 12th dimensional energy field in your etheric stargate.
And so we call for a very strong 12th dimensional energy field in all the etheric stargates.
And now asking to reconnect to the energy of the angels, the ascended masters, the star families who have created an energy field for you.
And so we call for the presence of all the guides just to bring more energy into our etheric stargates.
And relaxing into that energy field. And ask for more. And so, beloved ones, reminding you once more that as we talk, we are supporting you with gentle energies, reminding you that we know you individually. Whether you are listening live or to a recording, we are with you. The voice, the music is recorded. The energy is not. We are responding to you in the moment that you are meditating with us. And so, again, just asking for a stronger, deeper connection to all those guides who are here to support you.
And so the angels, feeling them come closer, the ascended masters, inviting them to be with you, and the star families. And just invite all these guides to give you a gentle embrace right now. So the first step to change is actually to love yourself as you are. So just accept the love that we are sending to you right now. Feel this.
And so, the first thing to understand about this is that so often your societies program you to judge yourself, which is not loving. It is critical. It is negative. So by loving yourself, by consciously loving yourself, you are changing your whole perspective about who you are. You are no longer focusing on this long list of things that are wrong. You are starting to love yourself just as you are. This instantly changes your vibration from a low negative energy to a higher, beautiful, loving, supportive energy. This is one of the most simple techniques. Stop judging yourself, start loving yourself. How do you apply this day to day? It is simple. When you notice a judgment, instantly notice it, retract it, and say, this is not me anymore. And find something about that situation or about that person to love. It is that simple, it is that easy, but it requires your attention and your intention to do it. So, this is vital to understand. Your intention to change is the first step. Then, your attention, the watching yourself, how you are. Because with your attention, you will see those things that are limiting you. When you see what is limiting you, then you can begin to change it. So, now we are going to start a little deeper energy work. And beloved ones, it is a group of guides who we called specifically in the earlier meditation the Hathors. And so we ask each one of you to ask the Hathors to bring more of their presence into your etheric stargate.
And so we invite the Hathors to bring a stronger energy presence to each and every one of us, just inviting the energy of the Hathors to come closer and feel.
And now ask for more of their presence and ask them to support you in this meditation and in the understanding that it can bring to you.
And so just giving your permission for the Hathors to work with you very closely, very individually in this meditation.
As always, it is important to be asking, to be participating, not just listening to, actually meditating to this. The Hathors, as many of you know, have lived amongst you for many generations in the country of your Egypt. And as we often say, you can still see the statues of the Hathors there to this very day. The Hathors worked with humanity. They worked through the priests and priestesses at that time. And they worked to raise their understanding, to raise their consciousness, to be a light, to be a guide to many. And they are going to do this with you right now, if you choose, if you relax and allow. And so, before we continue talking, we are going to ask each one of you now just to be very receptive, for the Hathors are beginning to bring an energy to you. And it is coming to you right now. And with all these energies, how you feel it, how you perceive it is different from person to person. So just be with what is. It may feel a very strong energy. It might feel very subtle. You might not be feeling it at all. Be with how it is for you. For the Hathors know you, and they know what is appropriate for you in this moment. So simply relax. And now asking for the energies that they are sending you to go deeper. And let us just say, to go to the very depth of your beingness. So each one of you asking inside for the energies that the Hathors are sending you to go to the very depth of your beingness. Very good. And so there is a gentle, energetic coming to you from the Hathors as we talk. Your mind is not separate from everything else. Your brain mind mechanism, we often call it, because they are interrelated. But they are also connected to the greater you, that which we call your superconsciousness. It is of great importance for you to be aware of your superconsciousness and then to allow it to connect with you more and more through that which we call your intuition. Many of you have experienced the meditations where the Pleiadians and Arcturans send a transmission to support you becoming aware of your superconsciousness. We are going to include that element into this meditation also.
And so we ask each one of you now just to ask inside for the Pleiadians and the Arcturans to bring more of their energy to you.
And so, beloved ones, we call for a greater presence of the Pleiadians and the Arcturans.
And just feel as they bring their support, their energy to you.
And so now the Pleiadians and Arcturans are going to start to send an energetic transmission to you right now. This supports the brain-mind mechanism, becoming aware of your superconsciousness. Again, nothing to do. It is simply to bathe in these gentle energetics. So the Hathors are sending energy. Pleiadians, Arcturans are sending another energy. And we connect again to the masters of Zenon, who, as some of you know, work with you to support the development of your intuition.
And so, again, each and every one of you asking inside, we call for the presence of the Masters of Zenon.
And just feel as they bring their presence into your etheric stargate. The Masters of Zenon, just feeling a gentle shift in the energy field as they come to you. They too, as they have done many times, will start sending an energetic to you, and that is coming right now. That energy is combining with the other transmissions. It is to support the development of your intuition. So these three energies are being sent to you right now. Again, nothing to do, not even trying to feel the energy, simply being relaxed and present. So, beloved ones, your brain-mind mechanism is beautiful. This one earlier described it as a supercomputer. This is a convenient way for you to understand it. Its abilities are vast, and you are totally unaware of how amazing it is and how much it is doing moment by moment by moment. Because of its vastness, it has many programs that you have received and put into it. Some of these programs you have created yourself. Most of them, as you have already been told, were created in early childhood and as you were growing up. Many of these programs are actually limiting you. Some have been mentioned already. One large one for many people is a lack of abundance. And for many people, in a misguided understanding, you think of abundance as money. Abundance is not money. But many of you have a limitation, have a judgment against money. So, beloved ones, the energetics that are coming to you are designed to, how shall we say this, to loosen the attraction that you have, the addiction that you have to some of these limiting emotions, feelings, programs. How does this work? The energies that are coming to you are simply vibration. And as you know, everything is vibration. Your physical body is simply energy vibrating in a certain way. Physical objects are simply vibration. Your scientists know this. And we have said in the past that vibration can change vibration. By adding frequencies to it, the vibration changes. So, what are we doing here? As we said, we are loosening your addiction to these low frequency, limiting concepts, programs. Let us choose one. I am not good enough. This is a program that so many people have. And because it is so vague, I am not good enough, it influences all aspects of your life. So this is actually not your truth, because you are perfect as you are, even though you do not believe it right now. So anyone who has a program of I am not good enough, it is a low frequency energetic. And so the energy that the Hathors are sending to you are vibrating that particular program. It is difficult to explain in your language. So we are creating a picture for you to understand. And so the Hathors are loosening your addiction to that program, making it a little easier for your conscious mind to see, oh, I have this belief I am not good enough. Is that true for me? Do I really wish to continue with that? Or do I wish to start loving myself, appreciating who I am, and allowing my superconsciousness to start guiding me? So, this is what is occurring right now with the energetics from the Hathors. And this is continuing as we talk. So, some of the low frequency programs are being loosened up, so to speak. The other aspect is your superconsciousness. And so we have to repeat what we have said in the past. You are your superconsciousness. It is you. It is the real you. Most of you are aware of and believe in many lives, past lives, future lives. Your superconsciousness is that part that experiences all those different bodies, all those different lifetimes. That is your superconsciousness. That is the real you. Your superconsciousness connects into the body and the brain-mind mechanism. Because for so many lifetimes, humanity has been at such a low level of awareness, you have not known about your superconsciousness. But your superconsciousness is trying to guide you all the time. It guides you through your intuition. But because in the past, and perhaps still now, your mind is so busy, it disregards the input from your superconsciousness. If you remember the talk that was a few minutes ago, that part of your brain-mind mechanism is choosing what to make important enough to come into that part that you call your awareness or your conscious mind. You can change the understanding of that decision-making process to say anything that comes through my intuition needs to come into my awareness. Let us say that again. You can change that part of your mind that decides, is this important or not? And you can tell that part, anything that comes through my intuition, I need to come into my awareness. Because remember, your superconsciousness communicates through your intuition. So, how do you do this? Right now, your intuition is being strengthened by the masters of Zenon. The Pleiadians and Arcturians are working with you to help your brain-mind mechanism be aware of your superconsciousness. So let us just take a moment and ask inside for a stronger acceptance of all the energies that are being sent to you right now. Just asking yourself to open up and to receive on an even deeper level those energies that are coming to you. Just asking yourself, open up, just receive more. Yes, thank you, bring me more. Thank you, bring me more. So, your intuition comes to you in the form of feelings, in the form of thoughts or ideas. It comes instantly, and it very often comes in the form of a knowing or a feeling of I need to do this, I need to say this. It is an instant guidance. It is important for you to trust your intuition. As you trust it, it develops. As it develops, it becomes easier to tune into it and to move with it. Humanity is designed to be guided by your intuition, which is your superconsciousness. The brain mind mechanism is designed to take that information, that guidance, and put it into this third dimensional reality. In this way, everything flows beautifully. The body remains in balance and in perfection. That has been changed over the many generations of the past. But you are beginning now to realign to the perfection of how humanity is designed to be. And so, beloved ones, let us take a moment to improve your intuition. And this is something that we will suggest you do in your daily life. You have heard that your brain mind mechanism is not just in the head, it is in your heart and it is in your belly or your gut. Very often people talk about having a gut feeling about something. That is an intuitive feeling. Your intuition connects into your heart also. And so your intuition can give you a feeling of love or joy, a heart-centered feeling. Your intuition can come to you also as a thought into the head part of the brain-mind mechanism. So all these three centers are actually part of your intuition. Intuition doesn't exist in a particular place. So what we ask you to do is to just focus for a moment. Just imagine your inner eye looking in your belly. And if you wish, you can place your hands there. So focusing on the belly. And first of all, say, I love you. And love your belly. Love that part of the intuition that comes through the gut feeling. I love you. Thank you. This might seem a little strange. Just allow yourself to focus on the belly and just to say to that part of your intuition, I love you. Now placing your hands or your focus on your heart center. And as you focus on your heart center, we want you to say to that part of your intuition that comes through the heart, I love you. I love you. And in this loving, you are welcoming it to function. And now you can place your hand over your third eye, because intuition can also come through an image, a picture, which is also part of the brain-mind mechanism associated with the head. And so with your hand over your third eye, just say, I love you. I welcome my intuition. I love you. I welcome my intuition. And now Keeping your hand there, the other hand placed again on your belly. And just imagine love flowing between your hands. I love you. Every time you say, I love you, imagine an energy flowing from one hand to the other. I love you. I love you. Imagining a ripple of energy moving through the body. I love you. Imagine it, visualize it until you feel it. I love you. I love you. In this way, beloved ones, you can support the intuition, the brain-mind mechanism coming together and you being more aware of this intuitive process. Your intuition, remember, is the guidance from your superconsciousness. Your superconsciousness can show you some of these limitations. Your superconsciousness can say to you, okay, look at this now. It's time to release this. I'm not good enough. Time to release the program. I don't deserve to have what I want. Time to release the program. I am not beautiful. Whatever it is that you need to release. And the beautiful thing about the superconsciousness is it understands, it knows what is the next thing for you to release. What needs to be released first to make it easier to release those things that will be following. And so, as we have said before, do this meditation daily for at least a week. We would suggest you continue to do it. And if you can do it more than once in a day, beautiful. Because by strengthening this connection of your superconsciousness through your intuition, you will start to receive guidance on how to become free. Specific guidance for you, from you. Beloved ones, you are in charge of your own awakening. You have always been. But now there are many to support you in this process. But it is always your intention and your attention that that guides how fast these changes can come about for you. And so, beloved ones, loving yourself is the key. I love you. Beloved ones, existence loves you. And so again, just gently being aware of your own energy. Just feeling yourself in the body. And each time you do these meditations, these guides will return and will be working with you. And so, how to reprogram the mind is listening to the superconsciousness and following. It's having the intention and the attention And so gently coming.
And what's very beautiful about the super consciousness is that it's not just this super intelligent quantum self, it's also your super loving beingness. So it's super intelligent, super loving, and as Alcazar says, super wonderful. Great. So again, it's nice to drink some water. And is the meditation that whole process we just went through with Alcazar? So we will send you the meditation as soon as it's ready.
So, yeah, as somebody's asking, the whole meditation experience, not the last little piece, the whole thing. Remember that the guides are always building up an energy field. It might not feel to you that it's getting stronger or deeper, but that's what's happening. As you relax into it, the energies continue to work. The energies continue to, well, as Alcazar says, loosen up the old attachments. And he actually calls them addictions. We're actually addicted to these old patterns. And we know how difficult it can be to become free of addictions. And so this meditation is going to be assisting you in actually releasing or becoming more aware of these limitations so that you can consciously make a decision.
Indeed. And the follow through, it's not just the intention, it's the attention. And that's the follow through, is to, as you move through your day to day life, as it becomes easier for you to be aware of these limiting programs, the first step is to meet it with acceptance and to even celebrate and say, yes, I'm becoming aware of it. And the follow through is bringing this intention to say, this is not me anymore.
As Jules said, the most important thing is to celebrate the fact that you're seeing these limitations. We are so conditioned to go, oh no, I'm doing it again. Or, oh no, I can't break out of it. Celebrate the fact that you can see it. Ask to see it more clearly. Understand that it is part of letting it go. How can you let go of something that you're unaware of? The issues that come into your awareness need your awareness and intention to be free of them.
It's part of why we're here as humans, is to learn and grow and evolve. So this is about evolution, and that's why we celebrate even the things that are limiting us, because hey, you're aware of it, you can evolve. And someone is saying I could actually that they could actually feel the programs dissolving. That's great.
One other thing about the celebration also of gratitude is that it literally changes your body chemistry. That's a scientific fact. It changes your body chemistry. It makes you feel good. And feeling good makes things easier to change. And so it's a cycle that you can get on. It raises your vibration, your connection to your super consciousness becomes clearer, and so on. Okay.
Beautiful. And so another thing to be aware of is if you do find yourself starting to be caught by one of these like addictive lower frequency things, like self-judgment is a huge one. One of the ways that you can get out of that is to find something to change your energy. So like if you find yourself like going down, think about something that brings you that gratitude. Think about whatever it is for you. It could be like your dog. Like just think about your dog and be like, oh, but I really love my dog, you know?
Or your partner.
We're like, oh, but I really, I really love myself. Remind yourself of that intention.
Mm.
And
It's creating a feeling, thought, brain, mind, emotional repatterning. One of the things that I think of is my favorite beach on Maui, lying in the sun, and I just feel. The thing about the mind is when you really imagine something, the mind thinks it's real. So I imagine lying on the beach, feeling the sun on my body, feeling the breeze, hearing the waves, and it takes me back to times that I've spent there, and it feels so good. And then that good feeling, the brain mind mechanism responds to that and starts putting feel good chemicals into your bloodstream. So when the body starts to feel good, then the depression or the negativity or the self judgment starts to dissolve. So it's using your mind to actually change the brain mind mechanism, to drop out of that vicious cycle of addictive behavior, so that you change it by having this beautiful thought. And then you can say to yourself, do I want to live that anymore? That's not me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. This is not me, right? Because it's actually not you. It's just this old program, and you are the one who gets to decide no more. You're the one who gets to say, you know what? No, I love myself. And a very useful phrase from a Buddhist teacher named Tara Brach is real, but not true. So when those old programs come up, when those feelings, whatever they are, like if it's like, I'm not good enough, you can like feel that and say, okay, that's real. Like that has an effect and that's impacted me, but it's not true. What's true is that I'm loving myself right now. So I really love that phrase. Great.
Okay, well, we're actually coming to the end of this. There's been a few questions, and many people have written questions in.
So I was thinking perhaps what we could do is do a special question and answer.
Let's do that on our Academy.
In the middle of the week. So we will email you about that. And if you do have questions that are coming up, please either email them to support@thestargateexperience.com or post them in the Facebook Academy page.
Yeah, actually, the Facebook Academy page is perhaps the best, because then we can respond to it there, and everybody can then read the reply and see how it applies to you.
Okay, so we're getting really wonderful feedback from you all, so thank you for that. And a lot of people want clarification about whether they should continue on week one's meditations.
So, yeah, particularly for those people that have been receiving translations, you need to understand that the translators are very busy, but also Sandra in Slovenia receives all the information, the recordings from the translator, and then she has to add them to the webinar. And that's a slow process, unfortunately, because she's just got the one computer to do it in. So some of you are receiving the translation in your language on the several days later. So continue to do the first meditation for 7 days, and then you can do this one for 7 days. If you wish to continue the first one as well as you do this, that's fine also.
Okay.
But it's important to do them in sequence. Okay.
So, do you want to hear something kind of funny?
What's that?
That in preparing for this webinar about the mind, my mind got so busy. And so I'm really looking forward to just relaxing into my super consciousness.
Okay, beautiful people, thank you once more for joining us. Enjoy the coming week. Enjoy these meditations. Let us know on the Stargate Academy Facebook page how you're experiencing them as you do them through the week. And we look forward to listening or reading them and responding to them. And we will see you next week.
Hmm.
Okay. Bye-bye.